Hello there everyone, this is iMark3 and welcome back to Defending the Fire Nation, where our opponents were kind of gracious and they haven't made any progress at all in defeating our insurgency in the last 3 weeks-ish. Yeah, they are very chill for an occupying force, I must admit. And yes, apologies, I was in hospital for 2.5 weeks, and before that I was waiting for a comment which seems like it's not going to be appearing, so we are going on from there. I think first of each new record in a series I'll mention why I've been gone, which is hospital. There is a post up explaining in more detail there. But yeah, risk of sepsis and therefore death. I'm all clear, so we are starting to get back, and my wrist is also pretty much back to normal. So that's why I'm now starting to record a few days after I've got out. I've been looking around in here, trying to get caught back up on where I was, what I was doing, and as I said, we don't have a comment from Happy Hafer because apparently they gave a few paragraphs, like a wall text, and then they didn't submit it. And I was waiting for that right before I went and got unavoidably detained as well. So we'll continue without, and yeah, we'll see what Happy Hafer has to say after this one. I'm thinking, honestly, on what I was musing about the end of last time, Victor is the pilot that I think I'm least attached to and the one I kind of want to move on, like send to the noble ranks of the general freedom fighting forces. Because I've got two cool ones run cold, and honestly, the optional skills in Victor are the weaker ones. Remember, Victor was our original rookie as well, so he's also behind in terms of experience gain. Tango, we've got weapon training, but we also get glass cannon, which is a massive boost to long-range damage output. And then Whiskey is also a decent one to hold on to because they get the option of Feather Leap, which in a light mech greatly increases jump distance and therefore mobility and helping to get the sniper rifle to where it's going to be most useful. So both of those have got good points. Victor, not especially much. I mean, he's got the Scout one, which is like heat threshold increase. But yeah, I'm not attached. Only other thing worth noting is that I actually went around and scrapped out some spare weapons and parts. So I've unlocked a few extra bits in terms of the weapon systems, like I can make the AR2 burst, and I unlocked I think a few bits in here as well. But mostly just getting some progress on weapons that I wasn't using and had spares of. I've not limited myself in any way. Last thing worth noting is the longbow is currently fitted out with the marksman rifle rather than the sniper rifle. And that is because our next objective is going to be Convoy Airlift, a 4-star mission. Well, it could be a 1-star breach or elimination, but honestly, well, melee camp supplies, weapon subsystem, weapon uncommon rare. I should probably double check this stuff as well. Heavy armor, mid-range weapon, camp supplies, basic components, rare components, armor subsystem, weapon long range if I do the interception successfully. That's okay. I'm slightly tempted by the melee, but we've already got a melee weapon on our close range one. So this is the thing. I also had to decide if I was going to run from here all the way up to here and then back down to here again within 24 hours, but then this would give me 12 hours grace back if I finish it. And honestly, I decided it's not worth it to try and get that optional because, excuse me, it's not worth it to try and get back to that optional because it's like go around here and then go that way. So odds are I'd run a bit short on time or I'd not be in a comfortable position after I hit this objective. So I might as well just go and hit the objective. Let us be on our way. Actually, you know what? I can do that. Overdrive, full power. Away! Turn off. I was massively underestimating my speed. Go figure. Anyway, we do have a comment though, which is from Clint. Though technically we do have a Happy Hafer comment as well, it's just that was in response to me being quiet so long. There we go. Base slows down next to a small market stall side of the road. The stretch of road is quiet. One of your pilots has personality. Do you actually get much business out here? Not much, the storekeeper says, but it's too dangerous to travel with my goods anymore. I'm afraid I'm low on a lot of things, though. If you have any food supplies, I'll trade for what I have. A low offer, basic components. I can just offer a camp supply, which I've got 3 of actually. I'm decent on that. Go on, all in. The Soulkeeper's eyes go wide at the sight of supplies. Yes, yes, amazing. Here, let me see what I have. They pause a moment before mentioning something, motioning towards a large crate sitting a ways back from the stall, half covered by a tarp. That may have accidentally fallen off the back of a cascade convoy. Hopefully not the convoy we're about to go and raid. They say with a wink. Better in your hands, I think. Unit... Ah! Oh! Yes! Worth it. Totally worth it. I need to retune my workshop, right. Cancel building the arrow piece because... Workshop, you are going to make a new mech frame. Unit 4 is now going to be a thing. Aha! Perfect. Time-wise... we're kind of in the ballpark actually I was expecting, so I think I was actually eyeballing it kind of correctly. Yeah, 12 hours, and then we need to rush down here as fast as possible, so let's go. 80, 97. Remember, this is also doing this with an upgrade to our basic movement speed. Though I didn't fully overdrive all the way up there. I could have done that. Look at how close that is getting, though. Oof. I'm gonna need to clear another objective immediately, honestly. Start up, suit up, yes. I should check the things because I keep forgetting to. We've got on-site contacts, a dropship, so 1 wave of reinforcements. Okay, that's all good. No, don't leave. Marathon is a workaround. With objectives and enemies spread across this map, bring out faster mechs. That's okay, we are quite quick. And that's also why I gave it the marksman rifle, just because Unit 3 is going to need to... Start Unit 3 now. Lombo is Unit 1. That unit is going to need to get in there. More enemy squads than usual, mass allocation, expect a tough fight. That's fine. Okay, let's see. Whiskey Kilo Tango. I do kind of want to have my better units out here. Whiskey, Kilo into defense. Yes, that's good. I want to bring Sierra in as well. Because I want Sierra to continue leveling up. That's the thing. Though Sierra's would normally be in the longbow. I keep thinking of the longbow as like a mid-range unit, because that's what it's been in every other game I've played of this, but no, it's not. It's a long-range one. Maintenance, extra speed, that's good for the melee type. Repair, yep, that also probably be helpful. Yeah, so we don't exactly have anything... We don't have a melee specialist for this mech yet, so that's why I'm kind of swapping the parts around. But let's go ahead and drop in. So, deploy. Yes. Right, from Clint, 3 weeks ago. Barbatos should be the name, if that is possible. It is. Unit 4 shall be a Barbatos. Also great fit, thank you. I like both the snipers. One fires more shots, better for tanks or convoys, and the other fires one big one for robots. Both are good depending on what you're hunting. Well, it's worth keeping in mind that the 2 shots of the marksman rifle, which has got fitted, are still aimed at the same target, but with manoeuvring they could hit other things. Enemy is running. The enemy is running. They are picking up cargo supplies and trying to leave. Okay, so cargo interception. Enemy forces, we've got these cargo points around the map. It's like the bunker security objective, but we need to hit multiple things at once, and each of these gives us extra reward based on the loot list. We've only got 2 crates this time. It can be... I've seen one with 3 before. Let's see what we've got opponent-wise, though. We've got ourselves a... machine gun shotgun. Except it's not got the shotgun, so that's a machine gunner. Well, this one is a assault rifle shield, but... yep, the shield is... Wait a second, I thought we had an objective saying that we wouldn't get shields. Maybe that's because this one has extra units in it. I don't know. Kind of odd that one's actually got the shield, which is purely a secondary. And I seem to remember our province rules don't allow that. Anyway, tanks-wise, we've got a machine gun and a cannon. The cannon one dies first. Just saying. Okay, let's go ahead and try to plot this stuff out. What was it? Plus? There we go. Yep, that's the all-important hide interface button. Plus. One of the things I need to do is edit up all the footage from the previous province, actually. Which it was something I was planning to try and do as a side project for this particular run, but yeah, so many things have been put on hold. Anyway, we have an ambusher string and many Mings to throw at our opposing forces. You guys have wanted my punching bags. I've got some frustration to work out. Let's see what we can do. Okay, we are once again invoking the grand tactical doctrine of we are going that way. Remember, I did say that I play aggressive, and so far this playthrough has not cured me of the ills of my ways. There is madness to my method and method to my madness. Yes, if the enemy is already down, they can't possibly hurt me in return. Anyway, this particular strike should take care of ideally 2, though I have not arranged for a follow-up attack on one of them. And we'll see how it goes. So, first things first, our marksman is pulling up the line here and then moving along, because this is actually a decent engagement range for the cannon tank, and that is what this particular marksman is aiming at. So, bang bang, just try and deal with that one on the side. The defender is just jockeying for position, so it's the only one actually dashing twice in this, technically, though there is another, of course, high-speed movement involved, as you saw just there. Whee! But, getting in position, ready to start taking enemy aggro for being closest, ready to shield, all that kind of stuff. So, getting in close, ready to try and do its thing. And then, of course, the one that I programmed first, our Unit 3, which I have realised during this planning session I've not yet renamed, because Lilkari did give us permission to do that. This shall be rebranded as an Edgelord. Yes. Based on the very old meme, before memes were a thing, that this is my original OC, do not steal, and it is any given character except dressed in red and black. Usually with a sharp blade and a chance to get into close combat. But yes, Edgelord is the name and title. I think I might have mentioned it during the previous episode, but that was again a bit ago, so apologies. But the fact I've not renamed it yet kind of speaks for itself. So, dash in, charge, and then a maximum range melee. Melee is actually faster movement than dash. So it's a really fast blur, maximum range. It'll hit both the tank with the machine gun and the machine gun carrying walker as well. So hit both of those, and then it starts to back off and reposition and takes a pot shot at the walker, which is not going to get taken out, so the enemy mech. Though I could do a double tap on the tank, I suppose. But incoming damage is rated at 555, and I checked, and the tank sidearm is a total of 160. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting for the tank. Anyway, let us go and see how this will turn out, shall we? Okay, the machine gun tank actually absorbed the marksman's shots aimed at the cannon tank. Also worth noting, by the way, that the machine gun tank isn't actually down. Oh, it is crashing, it says. It is currently crashing because the tread got knocked out, and then it's going to get attacked. Okay, so... oh, I think I know what happened. The melee attack splashed over all of the armor locations, and so that is kind of why that happened. Yeah, this one's got equal damage all over. Okay, so melee does spread out, it seems like, rather than directional like a gunshot is. Good to know about. Anyway, got incoming things happening. So attack and attack. Yep, this one really loves my defender. This one is actually going after the melee type. That's okay. And this is enemy dropping in from the skies. A shotgun SMG. Cool. And it's going to walk over its allied tank. Good job, guys. This one's going to attack the defender, and this one here is going to attack the... yep, the defender is well and truly taking all of the punishment. The defender needs to get behind cover, honestly. So, that's fine. And then these two are dropping in. Okay, so the melee didn't do as well as hoped. That's okay though. It's done some damage, and this thing was at least out of action temporarily until we can get things sorted. And the defender, I think, will actually be heading this way as well to join our melee unit. And of course, the idea is to reduce this number of units before this lot get involved. So let's see how we can do with that one, shall we? Good plan, great plan. Don't know. Okay, so defender is doing what I was anticipating, defending. Like, it's under attack multiple targets, so it's actually angling its shields greatly against the machine gunner. Because that's where the volume of the fire is coming from. But it's also doing an aggressive intercept, as you can see. Like the one with the enemy shield and assault rifle, it's going to do a defensive clash there to stop it. Because that was trying to focus down the melee mech. Just let it do that. And actually I think, because that should stop that one cold, I should now actually reprogram the second half of the Edgelord's plan. Longbow is taking pot shots again at that tank that escaped it last time, then repositioning to fire on the enemy machine gunner as well, so just get some damage dealt there, and then start to move back behind the hill for a little bit more cover, and then potentially dash next turn if it comes under fire. That's the plan. Melee one is taking another crack at that guy just to try and deal with it a little bit more, and then it is hiding from incoming fire. And in fact, this is the part of the plan I'm going to rearrange, because this is where that intercept will stop it from being under fire. All going well. So let's act as we should and push it from there, which will be to actually do a follow-up strike on these two tanks, because I already worked out that I can get a melee attack in, which will deal with both tanks quite heavily. So wait until that attack is over. So about there. Yep, that's fine. This house is going to need a bit of restructuring, honestly. And then attack out here. And there's one, there's two. So attack there will hit both tanks. I just need to time it so that I don't overheat. There we go. In fact, there's no need to move until right before either. So just do that, attack, and then start to back off away again immediately. Which is actually going to bring it into a clash line with the defender. Not quite what I had planned there, but the defender is also trying to move towards the cover over that way. So I suppose it'll then start pulling back this way. Actually, it's so close to the end that I can't even tell it to do that. Never mind. Okay, so that's the plan there. Assume that this is going to get knocked out because it'll be heavy mech colliding with it. Let's double check my math, because last time I did this, my shield rebounded off an enemy's back, so that was a bit of an embarrassment. But yeah, this kilo should be a heavy class mech. Yep, there we go, heavy. So yes, the enemy's not got his shield raised, so that means advantage will be mine because my shield will be. Therefore, yes, collision should be absolutely fine. Let's go ahead and get this little melee started up a bit. Marksman firing again. Crunch. Cannon shell. Melee. Hey, we took out that machine gun tank at the very least. And you see what I mean about the attacks just ongoing. So, that went quite well actually. Very good, very good, very good. One enemy confirmed down. That tank is still there, unfortunately. But it's going to eject actually, so it's critical. And it's going to eject very shortly. Very good. This one is currently crashing, then it'll move up and try to... Oh, someone actually noticed the longbow. We can't have that, can we? Okay. Kilo has his shield. His shield is actually almost gone. Oof, that thing is taking a pummeling. You're good. You are pushing out this way to join the attacks on that side. That's not the best. Actually, what happened to this tank over here? Hello, and crunch. A slight dash collision there. Though I don't know why that one's taking damage effects as well. Right, so this tank here, yeah, it wasn't a proper collision, so it didn't really take any damage. Okay, worth noting that. But yeah, my defender shield is going critical. I need a better shield, flat out. It's wearing out in a single turn isn't actually that good. That reminds me, I need to chase up on the actual customization for Unit 2 as well. Anyway, let's go ahead and start planning here, because this is... there's still more of these guys active than I really like. And also Cargo A needs some attention real quick. I think I'm going to task the longbow to get over there, actually. You know what? I wish the longbow still had a sniper rifle. Oh well, that's something worth noting. Okay, so the plot line is this one. Less engagement, but we are going to be down, as we already established, a tank. Something I noted during watching the replays is this guy has actually got both a pistol shotgun and machine gun. So again, another secondary weapon is present. Excuse me. Also worth noting is that this guy is well, the collision is always really taken, but it knocked that much off his liquid fix bar. So this guy's got a lot of barrier on him, so I've not really hurt him at all much. But I'm pulling the entire engagement over this way, which is not actually the best for me, because it's actually getting out of the cover of the town, but it's where I need to be actually be, you know, stopping these crates from disappearing. So we're going to try that way. To that end, longbow is running as fast and as hard as possible, because yeah, stopping to take the time to fire the rifle is actually going to cause it problems. So it's just going full bore as fast as it can dash. Though actually, its heat disappears there, so it could dash there. Get to about here. Slightly better than that. There we go. Okay, dash there, and then maneuver this way. So yeah, really going for that crate, which will be one turn away from the spine bow, so I have to keep someone on this crate basically for the rest of the match if I want to get my hands on it. This would be easier if I had a fourth unit, honestly, but we've only just gained the means to actually make one. Okay, other things. Defender is actually moving also to disengage. It's not as fast, but it is taking the chance to take a pot shot at this tank to actually try and, you know, get the 10 experience points for it, because if it ejects, we don't get that experience points for a pilot's removal. And then it's also going to take pot shot at this guy as he runs up over the ridge there. And then most of the others are attacking my guys, but they're all going to be hitting these buildings and this hill, so they shouldn't be too much of a problem at all. Then melee is also moving to disengage, backing up, taking a chance to actually take a friendly swipe at this guy with the barriers again. At the very least, depleting his barrier reserve, and then moving to disengage and head towards this crate over here. So yeah, that's the demo plan. And we'll just see how all this goes. It is going to be a very relatively minor turn, I think. There goes longbow. Tank. Oh, enemy lost his shield. Good. Enemy fire is hitting my units a fair bit. More than I was expecting. The angle is actually letting them get past that hill, which is not ideal. Right. Kilo is taking a few knocks in the back, but nothing serious has really happened yet, so I can immediately turn around to defend. I'm actually looking at the angles of the... Yeah, the angles are fine. I think actually, unless there's an incoming attack this turn, that should be okay. Right. So my unit's okay. He's not hurt. He's not hurt. Right, let's check the enemies. This guy is about halfway down, all told, but it is universal. It's not really focused on any one general area. This guy took a knock which primarily hit the shield and completely broke it, so now he's only got rifle. Though that said, his positioning to also open fire, so that's less ideal, but Unit 2, our defender, is actually in a position where they can dash to further disengage at this point because they didn't attack for the second half of that last round. This guy is moving up in hot pursuit and then firing at the longbow. That's okay, right. That should be fine. That should be fine. That should be fine. I'm not in love with the number of enemies, but at least we checked and we know this is only one round of enemies coming in. Also, it was 9 experience, not 10 experience. Huh, okay, sure. Right, let's try and get this one sorted out. Right. Not much to say, it's another strategic round, repositioning a little bit here, there and everywhere. So the only one actually firing on my side this time is actually the longbow. Again, kind of wish I had the sniper rifle with me. This is actually would have been ideal for this kind of combat range. But takes pauses there, take pot shots at the guy that's coming after it, and then ducks behind cover before it gets shot at in turn by the shotgun. So there we go, that's something. I also forgot to re-equip the longbow with its missile pod. Again, slightly regretting my weapon loadouts, but again, I've not been in here for a while. Anyway, defender is maneuvering. I've triggered a pulse field effect to prevent any further physical projectile damage, making it all bounce off. Then dash, and it's now behind cover from most of the incoming fire. The one that's going on here is the... I keep mentally readjusting what I'm calling this one. I really should have... yeah, I should have renamed it last time. But anyway, back that up slightly so that it's not quite as much risk. There we go. There we go. So that's just getting up there to the other crate as well to stop that particular countdown. So 2 longer range mechs would have been nice. I've got 2 short range and 1 long mid range. So, well, technically long range. The marksman rifle is technically a long range weapon, but that's going to be that. And I think these two are going to be swapping positions this turn as this guy gets close, and then the longbow can pop up here with the marksman rifle and operate from there. That's the general plan anyway. But that's all going to be happening. So let's see how well we do. There's the pulse field, blocking incoming shots. Shots on the marksman rifle. Not much going on there. Very good. And so, that's that. And now the enemy is going to try and close the noose. Ooh, very aggressively, actually. In fact, this one's changing target to the melee one, so it's actually better if the longbow stays where it is, unless it gets shot at. Which it does not. The enemy ignores it. Ha! Defender's also great where it is as well. It looks like it's still got pulse field, but I think that's only a 1-turn thing, so... let's check. Limited charge, only from the terms of action, pulse fields, ricochet. Yeah, I think that is going to be wearing off imminently. But the enemy is now closing the noose with their total of 5 units still, 3 mechs, 2 tanks. I still think I can do this reasonably well. And I don't really have to worry about too much either, except for the guy with a buttload of shielding. Because, no, the other 2 don't have shielding. This guy, the one that lost his actual shield, has got so many barriers on him, though. That's going to be I have to focus him down, basically. Hopefully I can keep Kilo's shield intact at the end of this and just smack him in the face with it to stop him from shooting back, but we'll have to see how we do with this one. Anyway, let's go ahead and sort this one out. To be honest, this battle is kind of one of the things I was expecting this run to kind of yield in, you know, being a harder difficulty run. Drink. Right. So, not much going on for me movement-wise, but I'm doing a hell of a lot more attacking this time around, now that I've, actually positioned myself a bit better. So, yeah. Unit 3, Razor, Edgelord, is taking partial cover behind the hill. I'm trying to make notes and use the wait command a bit more, though it does oblige me to use up like 0.5 second of movement track to do it each time, to make sure the Edgelord is actually facing the right direction instead of being turned away from the enemy. But the hill is offering partial cover against incoming attacks, and that's the best cover I can give it on such short notice, because there's not really much else going on here. And then it is moving back down again into position to keep that crate from ticking forward. So there we go, that crate's going to be still fine and dandy. This enemy's going to be in close order. Defender is moving to better hunker down behind the building nearby, and then just dumping 2 clips of ammunition straight into the side of this tank as it wanders past. So, that should probably deal with the tank quite nicely, I think. And then the most active of all is going to be the longbow, getting into position here to get a line of fire on this direction, because this one is actually aiming at the enemy tank over here, this one with an SMG turret on it. And it's going to be shooting twice at it, though it doesn't quite have time to fully unload both shots at full accuracy, but it's doing that, and then it's backing up again just in time to get back to the crate. So again, cutting it kind of close there to make sure this crate doesn't tick down any further. And that should be my lot. So ideally, I'm going to knock out 2 enemy tanks in this one. And that's really what my focus is. Just whittle down the enemy a bit further, because I don't like how many enemies there are currently up against me. This should be a fairly good view of what's going on. No. This will be a good view going on. Yep, there goes the pulse field. That marksman rifle is really inaccurate, isn't it? Jeez. The scatter on that thing. 1 enemy tank confirmed down. Very good. There was some action we didn't really check on, which is the Razor over here. And let's see, turned around. Some shotguns, some bullets, but not massive amounts of damage, it doesn't look like. Now, of course, you've got to remember that the effects aren't fully here in the replay. Anything else? And they're kind of cutting down. The shield absorbed actually most of the damage that got through there. That's okay, but that building is now completely toast as far as cover is concerned. Okay, right, planning. Let's see, 1 enemy tank still here. This tank is still very much alive. 2 full salvos from the marksman rifle didn't take care of it because the majority of the shots scattered and missed. It was at longish range for the marksman rifle, but accuracy should have been like 100% roughly. So that was entirely scatter. Those modules that reduce scatter are so good. Anyway, they are pushing forward. Let's see, there is still the machine gunner doing fun things to my defender, who will have to back up now to avoid taking further damage. The shield is still there, though. And then everyone else is aiming for Unit 3. Yeah, Unit 3 is basically the one that's under attack. So you're just standing there choosing a defender. Fine. You are also taking pot shot of the defender, actually, so the defender might need to raise shield. That's okay. This one is running like heck around here, and then it's actually going to cheeky take shots at longbow. Huh. Right on turn end as well. From the angle, longbow won't have cover. Fair enough. The defender is up here, but the defender's not mobile, so defender could try to intercept, but the enemy, I think, does a dash there. Yeah, the enemy does a dash right there, so can't be intercepted by the defender. That's okay, then. Okay, right, let's start planning. Alrighty, some manoeuvring, some further whittling down of forces, ideally. Right, so Edgelord is going to be moving up and then dashing down to clobber this shotgun guy in the back with a melee strike as it goes past. So there we go, that's one hit there. Then it's also going to unload 3 rounds of pistol shots into it as well as it backs up and goes back up to its crate position. So there we go, that's one thing there. Defender is raising shield, and I've also, because the shield is so low and I want to preserve the shield, ideally for a little bit longer, I've popped its second use of pulse field, so ballistic shots will be deflecting off this time. It's not really getting attacked much this time around, but the shield is so low that it can't take much more of this. So as you can see, there's rapid fire attack going on right there, and it won't be able to out of the line of fire at all for the whole duration of the attack. So the shield might very well get destroyed, so that's why I popped that. Then it's going to fire off a round of fire into the side of this tank here, which is already quite badly damaged right side here, thanks to the marksman rifle fire last time, so that one's hopefully going to get dealt with. As for our said marksman, actually switching to the backup weapon, the SMG, because this is getting too close for the marksman rifle. Even this close is too close for that weapon. It's just like, it's a bit silly. Same with the sniper rifle, same kind of deal, just a bit shorter overall ranges. So SMG, SMG, move up, SMG, back up to get as much cover as possible from this, and then a wait action which has to be done within a turn. It can't actually carry over to the next turn, so that's why it's a bit finicky, that, to ensure that it's facing the right direction, because that is now outside of effective SMG range, basically. But the enemy is actually going to start attacking with their shotgun, so yeah, that's going to cause scatter damage at that range, 22%. But it's facing forward, so it shouldn't be too bad. The longbow should be fine. And yeah, one tank, that tank should probably be taken out. This mech's going to take a pummeling, hopefully get taken out, maybe not, we'll have to wait and see. And then we'll have to wait and see what happens with those 2 units over there, because these two, remember, are still very fresh. Well, one's slightly battered, one's fresh, basically. But we'll just have to see how it goes. So, this is the important area, this is where the tanks are going to be, this is where the enemy mech's going to be pushing across the front. So, here we go. There goes the tank. Nope. That mech got stumbled. Don't know if it's down though. Very good. So dodging and darting, and oh, the enemy is very aggressively rushing the. Yeah, right. Okay. So that mech is crashing, but its mark is gone. So that is actually a pilot down, and the mech is actually not overkilled. I think that's possibly the first time we've seen that so far, this particular run, if memory serves. So legs got taken out, stumbled, pilot's down, the rest of it's okay, and it's not under further attack, so that is actually out. So that's 2 units down. Excellent. So you are the assault rifle shield without the shield, but you are also the heavy barrier guy, and you are pushing hard on this particular crate. I am not happy with that. To the point where I'm thinking that the defender moving immediately for an aggressive intercept, I think, is probably going to be the best option I can do there to stop it. Though this does leave this guy over here just quite happily going, hey, look at me, shoot, shoot, shoot. Though it's not advancing. That said, though, if my defender moves over to intercept on this guy, this section here actually has like 3 turns before it disappears, so I can afford to be off it this turn. Because it's pushing up here and then attacking, so I need to be careful. Also worth noting, by the way, it's attacking while the razor's currently facing the wrong direction as well, so that needs to be fixed, among other things. So, it's now a 3-on-2 fight. My units are relatively fresh, apart from the defender. The defender's armor's a bit low, but, well, especially that shield. Not quite ready to deal with this striker head-on. I think I could. That might be my best option, actually, just like pummel that striker as hard as possible. Yeah. This guy's over here, there's a massive rock in the way. I will drop as much firepower as I physically can on the striker. Though that said, the defender's suffering from overheating. The longbow's also suffering from overheating. Heck, even the with all the firepower being thrown around in the last round, even the edgelord is, well, the razor. Even the razor is suffering from overheating. I need better cooling tech. Jeez. Anyway, let's see what I can plot up for this one and see if we can deal a knockout punch to this guy, because this guy is actually a medium class mech. So yeah, if I punch that's the barrier with unified strikes, that might work. Have to try. All I can say is no dashes are in my future, because dashes produce heat and I need everything on firepower. Doing what needs to be done. We are pushing kind of hard onto Striker. Admittedly, as I said, the heat going into this round is not ideal, but it's actually my best chance to try and deal with Striker while the Striker... Sorry, Striker 2 is this? Striker 2, yeah, well Striker 1 is over here not really able to engage me properly. So it's give it everything I've got, which is sadly only 2 mechs actually, because yeah, the Razor... I need to rename that thing. The edgelord is ducking back to avoid incoming fire, because remember, its pilot is slightly wounded. So backing up a little bit, and also to cool off as well, so it can go full bore next turn, melee and everything. But the result is is 2 salvos from the marksman rifle coming in as well. And I think I don't need to wait that long to actually get there, so actually no, it is better if I do. So yeah, start of 97. Yeah, the range isn't quite ideal for this one, as you can see. So 94. Just two salvos, one of which is 100% basically as soon as it gets within range there. So the second shot onwards, and then that one's going to be relatively okay. Then this one is just going to be dumping 2 rounds of assault rifle fire, and this is, yes, as fast as this one can fire the assault rifle, so I need better cooling. I keep saying that, I do. I also want my heat red for longbow, but I've not been getting my hands on it. This guy is basically just sitting here and shooting at the hill, so I can ignore him this round. And this one is going to be, as I said, pushing this crate, but this is the crate that's still got a few extra turns left on it, so this is the crate that I can leave alone, at least temporarily. So, let's see how well we do, shall we? Shall we? Yes. Yes, we shall. There's shots hitting the Razor. Oh, it lost its main weapon. It's lost its attack option. Oh dear, oh dear. Are you going to punch out? Let's see. Yes, it is, because it can't do anything anymore. So this one is literally going to eject without any further issues. Thank you. Very kind of you. Also, oddly enough, the other one is just going to stand there and keep shooting. Who are you shooting at? You're shooting at the defender, and the defender doesn't care. That's okay, though. Should I go for the 10 experience points, or shall I go for the easier salvage? I'll go for the easier salvage, I think. So this next round is going to be very boring. I'm going to give my mechs an actual chance to cool off. Except I think this guy... Yeah, the longbow can get some shots off at him from where he is, so that's okay. And I need to secure this crate as well to make sure I get the bonus, but that is all going to be fine. So that was... Yeah, this is kind of a clean-up phase, isn't it? Okay. I am going to let this guy eject without further harassment, though. Just because make the parts easy to salvage. I mean, if we have a look-see, it's got... It's not actually telling me the parts, but I know it's an arrow type. Oh, no, it is, yeah. Level 2 arrow. Level 2 arrow. Level 2 arrow. Yes. So, some of the parts I was actually going to make in my fabricator, I'm going to get some more of if I leave this guy alone and let him eject. So, I'm going to do that. Just because it'll be cheaper and stretch the salvage further. Honestly, not much to say about this one. Really is just maneuvering. I did also double check, by the way, because the risk of back attacks, especially against raw plate armor, is pilot's health loss, but Sierra hasn't got physically hurt because I kept him safely away from any concentrated incoming fire, so that's okay. So let us go ahead and see if this guy actually takes any solid hits from the longbow. I've only managed to keep up 1 round of fire from the longbow because it's overheating, so yeah, we'll see how that goes. Yes, shoot that hill. The hill is your enemy. There goes the ejection. And yeah, not much else going on. Are you going to move this turn? I think this guy's kind of forgotten his legs work. Okay, sure. Though, as we saw there, I let the... Oh, enemy ejection plus 19. I guess they changed it so that ejections don't give you an experience penalty and therefore you are encouraged to hunt down the enemy. Either that or it's less than it was. Let me go back and check. Enemy pilot take down 38. Okay, so it's like 2/3 experience if you let them eject. Well, worth keeping in mind at the very least. Though it's better than losing all experience, which is what I thought happened. These two are good. He's shooting at that. All I need to do, honestly, is just position and fire again. Yeah, just kind of like this. And then back into position to make sure that I don't lose this crate. And that's going to be it, basically. Because there's not much else I'm going to do. I mean, this guy's being attacked, so it's going to stay in cover. The rate... Yeah. Our knife guy is going to be hanging out back here because only got short-range pistol. And so can't really dash and back on that distance without letting this crate go further into risk. And so yeah, that's going to be it. It's not going to be a very exciting turn. But this is still, we're in the cleanup phase after all. There's one enemy left. I think I'm going to lead into this one saying I've never seen a enemy pilot that hates nature so much that they decided that this particular little hill needs to go away. Yeah. Oh well, right. Let's go ahead and let's see how this goes. Let's turn around so we can see the longbow doing its thing. And execute. Yes, that units don't have orders. That's okay. Die, hill. Don't know why a shot went wild there. Doesn't have the same kind of oomph as the sniper, does it? And again, it's doing the same thing. I think the AI might be slightly broken. Well, it's going to be the same deal though. I'm going to line up and fire with the longbow. It's probably going to be one burst this time because of heat. And then we'll just go from there. Okay, slight modifications of the plan. Defender is backing up to actually take over guarding this crate duty, so that gives the longbow just enough heat threshold to actually open up with a second salvo this turn, and hopefully that'll do the trick. So, let us go ahead and deal. Yes, Razor still has no orders. It's still with us. This one's being really stubborn. And... gee, yeah, I wonder who it's attacking. Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, it's going straight for the defender again. Wow. That is horrible. This fight was really was a decent fight, right up until the AI decided to break on this last bit, huh? I'm not even going to bother recording the replay for this one. There you go. Go there, go back. Yes, you stay where you are. Maintain fire. Really wish I had the sniper rifle with me. Can't. Just enough heat to open up again. No, better to let it cool off because I don't max out my cooling and hit 0 anyway before the start of the next round, so that's okay. That'll do. Yes, go. Will you just go away already? There we go. That took long enough. Wow. Did end it with an overkill, I think. Oh no, the pilot wasn't taken down. The pilot was... Yeah, the pilot was still in there, so it was just a crash because of the lower body getting wrecked. And then the round came in and hit the torso. There, bang, bang, and there it goes. This unit really didn't want to get taken out by the marksman rifle. I was surprised with how bad the marksman rifle genuinely was there. Though I think a big chunk of my letdown with the marksman rifle this round has been actually... Yeah, let's get a good look at the enemy doing as the enemy does, exploding. The reason, I think, is just flat out because of the scatter the marksman rifle was having. Because remember, our Soul Sniper Rifle actually has a module in it which reduces scatter, so it makes it more accurate. Most of the time this was just scattering and missing its shots. Though range was also a big factor for most of this too. But yeah, I was surprised by how this fight went generally. But it's been a good enough fight to actually ease back into it. A 4-star fight, exactly what you want when you're really rusty. I did okay though, I think. Let's go ahead and grab the recording bit for this one, because this is then they actually beat the enemy, and then I'll switch to the mission over screen. And yes, I have kept you guys around for this particular part because we get to see the enemy going down. This is honestly what I've been doing this whole time I've been recording this series. I've been going back after finishing a round summary and then recording from a whole bunch of angles the fight that was going on beforehand. You can probably guess what I'm thinking of maybe trying to do with that if it comes out okay. Though I said I've not got around to quite doing that yet. As for this one, the marksman rifle is just standing here shooting. Though I've got to remember, of course, with all the extra angles because of the replay, things like gun sounds and things aren't going off either, because that only happens in the original playback, the very first one, which is a bit unfortunate. I mean, I'd like to be hearing this gun firing each time, but it seems to be how far this game is coded that it can't do that. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, because of the angle of attack, it was kind of getting to the point where it might go past here, so I moved the fender out slightly for that last turn, and then moved it back in to keep the crate secure. Anyway, now that you see what I've been doing after every single round, this entire playthrough, continue. Exit the combat scheme, tell me what's happened. 55 seconds, yep. It seems to be about 50 seconds or so. It takes up an entire episode with how I've been recording it. 98 planned, damage inflicted 6,000 odd, taking 1,600 back in turn, and 18 blocks demolished. Continue. Now, one big issue though, I ran up my timer, if you recall, before going to this one, and now everyone is going to be high fatigue, so I have to camp. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. Frame integrity slightly down, experience gone up, you're fine. Sierra's okay to deploy again. Frame integrity is okay. That's all good. Razor's fine. And Tango did okay as well. Leveled up, but is also now max fatigue because the sharpshooter only gets 2 fatigue. Camp supplies, basic resource, 1 shot, arrow, arrow. heavy machine gun, and capacitor. Ooh, okay. Right. Camp supplies, good. We just literally just traded one away to get some machine parts. That's good. Some resources. That's okay. A level 3 MLS one-shot. If it was an MLS flat out, that would be great. A one-shot, I'm not sure about. I've never really used them much. I mean, it's a single missile. It's long range, high arc. But it's more like a scratch damage kind of thing because it's limited effect. Less duration, less heat damage. Oh, sorry, less heat generation, less attack duration, which means the attack bracket here, where the weapon is active, is shorter. And inflicts more damage on impact. 200 points of damage per shot. It's fairly high heat, though. Its main thing is, like as I said, lobbing over intervening terrain and just hitting something. A level 3 heavy torso. Blue tier. The defender's getting an upgrade. Actually, I've got two of the things. What have they got? What have they got? Plated 2 and improved cooling 2. Oh, that's going to help our defender. This one also comes with a unlocked weight reduction module. Minus 2.25 mass, which makes the unit it's fitted to lighter and therefore faster. Indirect increase to movement speed, as it says in there. So, okay, that's good. I can transfer that to someone else. Also a hot rod thruster and a charging reactor. What's the charger? Trades power output for a high overheat threshold, allowing for more intense weapons fire. Okay. While the other one is a T7 Logi thruster and a hot rod, which we've already seen. That said, though, because it's a level 3, most of the slots are unlocked, so those thrusters and reactors, we can yank those off and put them into other things. So, good. Right, level 2 machine gun with dispersal. Helps it runs a bit cooler. See, it's got a massive attack bracket, then a short interval, then another massive attack bracket. So that's what was being used by one of the enemies there. 3 weapon slots, but it's also level 3, so good. And then the capacitor, which uncommon offensive module increases the mech's overheat threshold, which increases heat capacity, allowing the mech to absorb more heat before it overheats. This could be useful on our sniper in particular. But basically it's more wheel room before overheat damage starts occurring, which is generally useful. Continue. Okay. Salvage, what have we got? Striker 1, Nox and shotgun. Again, why have I been getting sidearms? I do not know. My throat keeps going here. That's better, right. Level 2 Nox, blue tier. So we've got multiple blue tier pieces coming into this one. With composite plates. Also a sidestep thruster. Yeah, sorry. Right. Quick loader, reinforced stock, force enhancer. In particular, I will note, because I can't scrap and learn them, things like anything that's not a reactor or thruster, like the standard plate modules or defense dense plating or this reinforced stock, I need to salvage the guns or arm equipment that they're mounted on and then yank them out, and then that'll let me use them elsewhere. Because that's my main source of these extra customization modules. As I said, I can't learn to craft these. I have to find them. Nox, okay, you're good. A less powerful version of the weight reduction, but still a weight reduction, minus 1.5, very good. A level 2 Ajax shield with integrated barrier. So extra barrier on that one. Potentially useful. It's only a grey tier, but that's okay. And that's what's on the Striker 2, that unit that was very kind and ejected for us. Booster module, plus 18% thrust. Regenerator, extra barrier regen. There's a lot of good stuff here. The problem is I'm going to have to scrap though a fair bit as well. Oh, we're getting into less good. This charger. Yeah, this is one of the reinforcement units. This charger came with a expanded magazine SMG. Plus 20% rounds fired. Nice. And yeah, that's the 2 pages. Okay. Let me just go picking through the salvage and see what I can get. Especially I want to, of course, get the blue stuff. Yes, but that's already taken 75 out of 88. Oh, geez, that is really bad. How much do I actually want this? Not super much. Damn it. I have to pick and choose again. Okay, that'll about do it. I was getting greedy trying to go for multiple blues, but then it's like I couldn't really get much else out of it, so what I really need more than anything else is components to try and upgrade the base a bit more. So the only blue I've taken in the end is the Nox torso, because, you know, it's really good. Wish I knew how to dismiss that. Oh well. I'm also scrapping both of the blues, so I get blue parts out of it as well. Scrap the legs. That Astro Rifle would have been nice. I mean, it's got the quick loader, making it generally a bit more friendly to use, and also demolition for structure damage, but it's like, I can't afford to grab much of anything. But I am grabbing this arrow with improved cooling and barrier regeneration bonus on it. So a decent middleweight protective part there to have in stock. And then I could honestly have done with scrapping these arrows here, but that's the trade-off for actually taking one that's somewhat decent. And as you can see, I've mostly got grey parts still, so I do need better quality parts in general. So that's kind of why I've struck a balance here. Not much else to say, really. Just trying to balance that out and do my best. Opportunity cost, after all. I've made the best I can out of my current salvage, and that's going to have to do it. So, okay. You successfully disrupted the enemy operations and created a foothold in the area of resistance forces. Open combat is beginning to break out all over the province. The enemy is coming for reinforcements. It's time to strike bigger targets. Hope +1. Squad flags you down. Supplies. What do we want? An extra unit core or 200 basic components. It would be nice if I could see how many basic components I've got here. Unit cores, though, are rare and valuable. And right now, I don't think I'm particularly hurting for base materials, because I'm not trying to craft anything super fast. So, take the core unit. New waypoints, a battlefield, an assassination, and a liberation. Okay, so that's what we've got going on next time. 2 1-stars and 2-stars. I've got 5 target points. Oh, that's good. Advancing to the next stage has reset me back to 24 hours. That's cleared out the heat buildup I had. Though, I don't... Because my workshop is still basic grade, I still need to actually run that really quick. So, let us set up a camp. Prepare for the camp. Yes, I want to... Problem is, we're high hopes that all this will be fixed up. In particular, I will take care of Sierra's injuries. And none of our mechs are massively damaged. We could still push on for another combat, but I'm going to take care of all this and get the frame for Unit 4 produced. So, confirm. Hope, extra health, and Doctor's Sleep, extra health. Okay. Hope. And Dismemberer. Okay, that's a new one. Fondly remembers ripping off parts of an enemy mech. Makes every pilot unit part event unit part destroys. And event depends on part behaving combat. But grants 20% extra health recovery. I think. Yeah, health recovery. Also hope and medbays. So yeah, they're all fully healed up. Standards out. Workshop projects completed, though that's the main thing. And move on out. And that is 18 hours. So 6 hours that. For some reason I was thinking 12. But that's all good to go. Tango can level up though. What do we got? Sword Enthusiast or Glass Cannon. Oh wait, no. Stabilized. Yep, you got stabilized, that's good. You are good. Units. Unit 4 is called Giant. That's going to be renamed as some version of with Barbatos. For some reason I keep thinking of the Gundam Barbatos, which doesn't fit with the heavy weapon. Well, Mikazuki did like to take a massive cannon out with the Gundam Barbatos, so maybe. Anyway. I need to give Razor a proper name. I'm not quite sure what to affix to the Edgelord though. Actually no, LK1 is decent. Keep the LK1 Edgelord, that's going to be it, isn't it? LK1, let's do this now. Edge Lord. Yes. There we go, renamed. And Giant 3 is going to be some flavour of Barbados. MTH Barbados. Might as well. And I didn't keep on the abbreviation. Actually, what if I put that on the end there? The Barbados MTH. There we go. And its roll card is going to be a... yeah, massive strike, basically. That's what it does. Edgelord is sword. Protector is the one that's already been earmarked for someone. And the longbow, of course, is the sniper type. There we go. Sorry. But I also need to try and actually fit these guys out. Give me a second to just really do a quick upgrade run with all these guys, and then we'll end the episode there. So, come on guys, it's time to get new toys. Okay, here we go. One last look around at the state of things as we do. So, all existing units have received an upgrade, and we have a Unit 4, kind of. I don't have much leftover parts, to be entirely honest with you, so it's going to be a mech that's going to be in there, but it's very rough around the edges right now. Anyway, so longbow has regained its cluster launcher and its sniper rifle, so primary loadout is back. Also worth noting, I've refitted it to the blue medium torso that we just picked up, and that is now fitted with the offensive module for increased heat threshold to allow for tighter bursts with the sniper rifle before it has to pause and cool off. Also, it's fitted with a hot rod reactor for move speed of 16, but it's got a hot rod thruster as well for a dash of 37. So yeah, not quite where I want it in terms of reactor and thrusters, but it is still there. It's still light and it's fairly mobile at 16. Next up, the Protector, of course, has the heavy torso. So this thing is now quite powerful, and in fact its move speed has increased from 12 to 17. So yeah, this heavy defender is becoming a lot more agile with the upgrades, because of course it's got some more composite worked into it, and it's got the weight reduction, and it's got a takeoff reactor as well. So the reactor's been upgraded for a 17 movement profile. Remember, this is still a heavy mech, so yeah. The enemy's gonna like coming against this one. Still carrying the SMG. I was looking at the level that green assault rifle, maybe as an alternative. Would have given it better range a bit, but with a worse heat profile, and despite improving the cooling significantly, heat is still going to be a factor for this guy, because it needs to basically dish out as much damage as it can between using its shields and dashing and stuff like that. So yeah, wants more cooling flat out. The LK1 Edgelord has actually, despite the request that this be a medium and then going into a light or a medium, whichever I prefer, honestly, mech, actually now has a heavy torso. Mainly because I didn't want to be playing games so hard with it, with concerns about Sierra already being slightly battered in terms of pilot health. So the only available arrow torso was fitted to it in the form of this blue level 3 heavy. Though it's still got takeoff reactor, its move speed is at 20 still, dash is at 45 because it's actually got a reach thruster, which is, honestly, it takes a lot to make me not use the reach thruster, but just because of the massive burst of distance it gives. And you've got to remember that the dash action always takes the same amount of time, but the actual distance and heat varies depending on what thrust you put into it. Other than that, not much to say. The arms have been upgraded slightly, but yeah, it's not really had any other changes. The handgun is still the best option in terms of DPS for its support weapon, and of course it's carrying my only melee weapon there, the blade. And then we come to the Barbados. Yes, I do have a colour scheme from Clint, which is blue and green. that's about it. Though, Clint, if you want to give me an update on that one, just let me know. Heavy weapons, it was the machine gun or the snail. This thing is so basic as it's got level 1, level 2 parts. I gave it the snail for range, and then its backup is a level 2 pistol. So, you know, just that. It's got medium torso, hot rod reactor, Atlas thruster. Again, because in general I didn't have much else, so this is now my slowest at 9 speed. So yeah, as I said, this is very much a collection of spare parts rather than an actual build at this point, just because I was gearing towards 3 mechs and suddenly I got a 4th one knocking around. It's even got level 1 legs, for goodness sake. Though actually no, I've got a level 2 I can give it. That'll improve it slightly, but yeah. It's got Erebus parts mixed into it, because I ran out of suitable Nox parts. That's how bad this is in general, so take it with a grain of salt. I wasn't even able to give it decent arms either, so yeah. This Nox with a composite is the only one out of the legs and arms that actually has a modifier, and the torso doesn't have a modifier either. So yeah, this thing is like bare bones standard things. It's got long range punch with that snail missile launcher though. But that's really all it brings to the table, long range bombardment. In a flat trajectory, I will note as well, by the way, the snail doesn't actually arc, really. So this thing is not able to fire over targets with its main armament. This is very much a line of fire missile bombardment setup. Unless I give it the one shot, but then it loses all close-in combat capability completely. And that's... sometimes the flow of battle just means that's not really an option. I could give it a slightly shorter range with a one-shot as its indirect option, and then carry an assault rifle with it, but again, if there's any thoughts on that, let me know. I was also considering giving this the level 3 machine gun as well, which would actually make it a bit faster, but the actually, the machine gun runs quite kind of cool. It's just got a long attack animation, and that still counts as a heavy weapon. Could go either way, but for now, though, I'll refit it with that, and I'll give it the one shot. There we go. So yeah, the Barbatos has joined the fight. Unit 4 is here. It's just not exactly there yet. Anyway, let's take one last look around. The workshop is doing its own thing. I don't know why there's dramatic music going on, to be entirely honest with you. Base upgrades, I could get some upgrades. Advanced assembly unlocks speeds up construction and unlocks uncommon equipment by extending the workshop hardware to support military grade materials. This will let me make green tier parts out of the assembler, which, while useful in and of itself, means I'll actually be spending like green tier components as well, which I don't have much of yet, so probably better not to get that one just yet. Cool. Increase camp supply storage, could be good. +5 to salvage, that would be very useful. More bunks, no. Optimized storage, extra slot for unit storage module, storage slash, yeah, +2 to unit storage. And then there's one here which would allow for better camps and things like that. So there's things that I could do here. In particular, I thought I'd upgraded these, but I hadn't. But I could spend a unit core here to make my overdrive more useful for rapid movement. But I think the priority one is probably actually going to be salvage. That's the one that's going to help me best in the long run, I think. There we go. And that's not locked me out of stuff yet. I just don't need the extra unit storage because I don't have the units right now. I don't need the extra pilot storage either because I've still got spare. Camp supply limits. This would cost me both my existing camp supplies as well as a unit core. But it'll let me store 4 instead of 3. Which might become relevant later. Let's check the province real quick. Province, liberation. Camp supplies, hope and subsystems. Backpack, short-range weapons and unit cores. Ooh. Weapons, short-range weapon subsystem and rare. I'm tempted to go here for the camp supplies, and in fact I might have to if I spend all the camp supplies on a storage upgrade. But a storage upgrade would just be in general a really good thing to get, because I've literally just come through a camp. I think I'll hold off on that one until I've actually got like 3, so that I've got 1 spare in the tank if I need it. So let's get the heat dissipation, let's improve that, so let's increase my mobility slightly. There we go. Upgrades done, and with that episode done, we are sorted. So, Barbatos joins the fights, or will. Let me throw 4 mechs out there at once, make harder fighters a bit easier to sort out, things like that. Though it will, remember, cut experience rates for my pilots in half. While there's 3 units, they get double. While there's 4, they get standard. But that said, we'll end it there. So, this has been Iron Mark 3. Thank you all very much for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed the show. Feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Helps out me, helps the channel. Give me those virtual headbutts I also crave. Help me get back into this again, because, you know, this is I'm trying to pick things back up again. Hospitals. Very useful, but getting trapped in one was not the most pleasant thing. And I'll catch you all some other time. Yes. I spent about twice as long as I thought I would recording this, I think. And I can tell I've not recorded in a while, my throat's hurting. Anyway, yeah. I'll see you all later. We'll continue to liberate the Fire Nation. The Avatar shall not win. Not at all.